Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Frankie and the Witch Fingers origin story.
All right, let's start with the obvious. How'd you come up with the name and what does it represent or symbolize for the band?
Frankie is a kitty cat. He's my cat, and yeah, I think when we started like 10 years ago, that was an apt name for a band to name your band after your cat.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah,
So give me the tour. Give me the origin story.
yeah, we. I met Dylan 10 years ago in Bloomington, Indiana. We were both living there, and we were both in other bands at the time. And I could tell we both of us needed another outlet to make music that each our respective bands didn't really facilitate. And this started as a side project of those bands, and we would just get together and record. Made a few albums. Ended up moving to LA. I had a few member changes. Then we met Pickle. She hopped on in 2020, and Nick, who we're bummed he's not here right now. He hopped on last year in 2022.
There you go. All right. It would be fair to say that you're psychedelic garage rock, right?
Hey, that's for the listener to say. We'll just keep making the music.
Right. How much do those genres influence what you do? How have they shaped your identity, or have they?
I
I
would
think
say, yeah, go for it.
I think they're those are just like some aspect. I mean, maybe it's like the origin of the band was heavily in that genre, but the influences now are so widespread. That's just one facet of many.
Okay. The reason I go with psychedelic rock is it incorporates the experimental elements, a lot of stuff which I hear with you guys. So, how does experimentation play a role in your creative process?
That's the central process. That is the process.
yeah. I think it's like experimenting until, especially in a collaborative setting, you're experimenting until everyone's kind of excited about it. So you start with an idea. Um, Wherever that comes from, who knows? And I mean, even that in itself kind of is experimentation. Like, how do you get that idea? So I think fundamentally it's experimental. And then I think like the idea of trying to push ourselves in a different direction each time we make something is a bit of experimentation too. Like, not wanting to follow the same path. There's a lot
And
of
yeah, yeah, sonically too. Whether it's our mantra or not. The can we swear on this? By the way,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
A lot of it is just fuck around and find out. So we'll be in the studio just kind of just messing around with stuff till we get a certain sound, and that inspires other things. So I'd say experimentation is pretty psychedelic, and yeah, if people want to say that we're psych rock because we experiment, then go for it.
Right. Right. There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, what's your most recent album?
We just put it out in September. It's called Data Doom.
Data Doom. Now, were the songs on this road tested before, or was it just going in the studio and hey, what are we going to come up with? What are we creating today?
They weren't actually road tested before recording them. Um, the process of writing was actually our first jam sessions, our first sessions with Nick, the new drummer at the time. So, a lot of what you're hearing is our first times playing with him. And after we recorded it, we then road tested or played the songs out for a good year before they were even recorded. But yeah, we kind of just hit the ground running as soon as Nick joined, started recording. I think the first recording session was probably our like 15th time playing together, so it all happened really fast.
There you go. Okay. Now, is this different from saying the monsters eating people, eating monsters, or the earlier stuff, Heavy Roller? Or has this always been the process?
Yeah, no, that's like it's like completely different. I think the monsters eating people, we were kind of in like a transitional period. So yeah, we didn't have like a full-time like bass player at the time. It was right before Pickle joined. So a lot of the bass playing on that record is Josh, and that was kind of just like uh was that like right before the pandemic. So even when the record was finished and we had Pickle had joined and we were ready to like play those songs, um then the pandemic hit and Nini, and and then 2 years went by of, or year and a half or so, of like not even playing those songs. So, and then Heavy Roller, I believe, like that was we had recorded a bunch of songs together already. It kind of spur of the moment, like Josh was saying, when we first started hanging out, we were just kind of like recording almost as like a side project for other things. And it was right when a lot of those other bands like Josh and some other guys moved to LA, and it was right before I moved to LA. And so it was that record was like, oh, we need to record more music because we're not going to be hanging out for another year or
We
so.
had to stockpile our acorns.
There you go.
So it does seem like there's a common thread, which is just like us like creating kind of under our own pressure of like, oh, we don't have a bass player. Oh, we're not going to get to see each other for months at a time. And then when Nick joined, it was kind of like, yeah, we want to write a record right away. So there's always this kind of immediate uh, attention to the record, at least.
All right. Now, did the lyrics come after you have a palette to put them on, or do you walk in with lyrics and say, hey, I want to make this a song?
Kind of just, it's always different. It's just like, yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to the process, just whatever works.
All right. Do you feel like there's a progression to your lyrics or songwriting in general for the rest of your, for Josh over the course of your albums? Do you see an arc or anything to what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Even lyrically, I don't write most of the lyrics. It's usually Dylan, but as an outsider of hearing them and reading them, I definitely sense the arc. I think a lot of the earlier stuff was more from the first person point of view. There's a lot more I, and maybe some songs about more cosmic ideas, but it's all more of a personal thing. And yeah, you don't really hear the word I too much in the last couple albums. It's more third person omniscient, like singing about concepts rather than from the point of view of one person.
Right.
And those concepts themselves are more like widespread and palpable. Yeah.
Nice. I have a thing with Trey that he always writes an I, and I wish that he would write either in the third person or in you. I think writing in you is great because the listener hears I when you sing you.
Yeah, you is good. The royal you,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
multiple U's. It's cool. It's like
right.
a command or the
Y'all.
y'all.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.